Hello. Okay, so my name is Langston Pereira, and I am pursuing, songwriting, singing, and learning how to play like the acoustic guitar, the piano, sight reading, all across the board, right? And I started my channel over because I wanted a fresh start. I wanted subscribers who were there to like witness my journey, right? And overall just like who have no clue who I am, and then if it happens that people who do know me in my real life end up finding my channel, they can subscribe on their own terms, not because I was like, hey, you should subscribe to my channel. So I'm kind of like doing this completely fresh, completely new. I'm not gonna tie this to my TikTok account or my Instagram account. And I just want to record my journey along the way. I think the most challenging part is that I'm literally, I guess at this point I have a little experience when it comes to like songwriting, singing, and like playing the instruments because I've dibbled and dabbled a little bit, but I've also kind of like, started teaching myself and watching like videos, reading books, all the above. And the one thing I will say is I'm still very, very amateur at, what I'm doing and what I want to do. And eventually I do want to turn it into more than just a hobby, but at the moment it's kind of like just a hobby. But the thing is, like, I'm not trying to be like the next biggest like pop star. At first I wanted to, but I was like, I think along the way people lose sight of why they really like started pursuing music. And it is true that singing does help with your speaking capabilities as well. Like, I've noticed the more that I've put emphasis on like singing and getting better at doing that, I've started being able to like carry sentences with a easier flow. Now, I will say I haven't been pushing myself as hard as I should, or as hard as I can, because I know that I can, and I've been like making a lot of excuses. But my goal now is to just be not 100% consumed in the music, because I still have like, to go to work and still have to do all that other stuff outside of that. But I do have more time available now to do that. And I think that's what I want to do, is like record videos of me kind of having like these one-on-one moments where, as I've seen in a lot of TikTok comment sections of like people's lives, are like, oh, this is like a FaceTime call with like my bestie or like my friend. So I kind of want to have moments where it's like that, where it's like a FaceTime call type of situation. But aside from that, like, I just want to capture my journey, because I feel like oftentimes we have this stigma and idealization where people are either born with it or they're not. And with singing, what a lot of vocal coaches, I would say like maybe like at least 2 or 3 that, well, one that I actually was working with in person, and then like the other 2 that I like follow online, they always say this: if you can talk, you can sing. And it's true. Like, there's only a very, very small percent of people in the population who are actually tone deaf. And believe it or not, you probably aren't someone who is tone deaf. You just don't have. How it was also put to me is that, like, your vocal cords are a muscle, and you have to continuously, build that muscle. And the same thing with like muscle memory is, you can literally like be able to sight read and all that as long as you keep your memory intact. So you have to like continuously practice and do all that. And that just goes to show, like, honestly, I feel like a lot of people try to make it seem like it's this either you have it or you don't thing, because they really want to gatekeep the fact that they don't want to see you happy and excel at what you want to do in life. And oftentimes I hear people say like, well, if you're not in the position that I want to be in, why am I going to listen to you? And we often forget that saying. Like, I forgot that saying numerous times, but it only recently dawned on me, like, why am I listening to all these people around me who aren't where I want to be? Just because you have a lot of money, or just because you like have certain things going for you, doesn't mean that you have what I want and that I should religiously follow your advice. Now, if I ask, cool. If I don't ask for it, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's like unsolicited in my opinion. And it's like, I didn't ask, for your 2 cents on it. And if we are having a discussion about it, you can present your views and your opinion, and that's fine, because we all have one. But at the same time, I don't need to stop what I'm doing or put myself down because you don't believe in the journey or the path. And like, oftentimes I do see where artists have to like go on tour and do all these different things to make money, but I'm doing it because I genuinely love music. Okay. I listen to literally every genre, like you name it, I have listened to it. And for the most part, I still listen to like almost all the genres, but there's like a lot of genres that I haven't fully like tapped into. Like, I've heard them here and there, and then some of the ones that I've wanted to like download and like listen to weren't available on Apple Music, because I use Apple Music. I don't really use Spotify, which I do need to go back to using Spotify in addition. But I honestly will say, like, I'm someone who loves all kinds of genres, and I used to hate country, but I fell in love with country a while back. And then the country pop sector, I love that too, because there's nothing harder than hearing a banjo with like an 808. Like, I don't know, like, that's just my personal opinion. But with country, people always like take the negative aspect of it, but they forget that that's coming from an actual place. Like, some people who sing about like beer and like drinking at like 11, 12, that's actually their life. Like, they used to have issues in their family, so they would find ways to cope. And it's like, I feel like people discount it because they don't like the genre. And I, over the years, have become way more like accepting of the genre, because it's still people's life story being told. And it's kind of like, well, that's some real shit. Like, everyone in that genre, not everyone in my opinion, but a lot of people in that genre may like sound the same or sing about the same thing. And what I've noticed over the years is like, everyone will tell me like, oh yeah, like they all sound the same. But then you have like current music now where literally, like, my mother says it all the time now, and quite a other like few people that I know personally are like, no, all music sounds the same. But the thing is, once you really learn how to dissect music the way that I have, and you become very analytically like in tune with it, you start to dissect the little pieces of it, and you start to realize it's all different, especially in its own way. Like, yeah, you have like female rappers, majority talk about the same topics, but they all do it in a very different way. And like, the reason that one of the artists that I gravitate towards a lot is like Flo Milli, because I feel like you can hear those nuances and cadences in her voice that make it so unique, so rich, right? And in my opinion, there's no such thing as a bad voice. And I used to say this about myself, but there really isn't. You just have to like really work to fix any of the little stuff that make it sound terrible. Like, if you were to ask me to sing when I was much younger, I was like so happy and gung-ho. I didn't know anything about proper breathing, support. I didn't know any of that. Then fast forward to high school, my friend told me that my singing sounded like I was just talking. And then it was only when I started actually recording myself that sometimes when I'm singing, the words don't connect the way that it should to make it flow. and it sounds like I am talking or like I'm monotone. So I had to learn a lot of things to help improve that, and I'm still learning. So of course there's going to be one to two, three, a couple bad videos in the mix of finding the good ones. But at the end of the day, it's all about building that muscle, and also about, just training. And I want to kind of show people, like, you can do a lot of it on your own without necessarily having a vocal instructor, but you will at some point see me go back to having another one, because I really did love like the vocal sessions, even though it was kind of pricey for 30 minutes, and I felt cheated out of the 30 minutes because I would drive like very far, because I would have to drive, I would say like an hour almost to get to this person, and then and it was like early in the morning, then our session would wrap, and I have to like come all the way back because I have work and I have school. So it was kind of like I felt a little cheated, I'm not gonna lie. But the vocal instructor, he was a good vocal instructor in my opinion. And I noticed, like, as I was taking lessons with him throughout the week, I was actually improving pretty quick. So that's all just to say, like, I don't want anyone to like give up on their dream because they're not good at it, or people put them down saying, oh, like, keep your 9 to 5. It's like, yeah, that's the goal for now, but in the grand scheme of things, you're going to improve, you're gonna get better no matter what people actually think. It's kind of like saying to a football person who has never caught a football a day in their life that you can't play football because you're not good at it. Okay, but you do have to do rigorous training, and you have to practice daily, and even on the days that you're recovering, you still need to at least tap into it mentally, and watch plays, and do all that in order to get better and improve. And that's kind of what this channel is going to be about, is like a chat with me, and kind of also watching me mold myself into a musician. Now, that's not to say I'm going to make it like my livelihood completely, and who knows, in the future I might, because one thing I can tell you is, as a kid, I used to love singing and dancing and just putting on a performance and acting, and then I like stopped it because I was like, well, if it was meant to happen, it would have happened when I was younger. Not true. Then on top of that, throughout the years, it just kept coming back to me, and I was like, okay, so I'm meant to entertain people. Then I did like acting, and I loved it, but I was like, something's still missing, and I realized music is still a big part of me, and that's something I'm never gonna give up on. Even if I die trying, that's all I care about, and the happiness that I experience does partly come from materialization, I'm not gonna lie, but it also comes from me doing what I love. When I leave my 9 to 5 and I'm like miserable, but the moment I get through my front door, I literally am so happy, because I know I'm about to go write music, I'm about to read music, or do the things that I enjoy. And that's what I care about most. I don't care about all this other stuff that's just like, okay, you have to make a livelihood. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I'm not gonna completely dive into music 100% and then like not make money to support myself, of course. But once I get much better at what I'm doing, if that career path opens up, then I'm gonna take it. But I have to start wrapping up the video because I have to go clock in a few minutes. But I just like really want to come on here and just like start my like new year with new vibes, high intentions, and just aiming for what I want. And if some people deem me as untalented in the moment, or even narcissistic because I'm putting myself first, so be it. This year I'm definitely doing what I want to do, what I need to do, and I learned so much about like manifestations and stuff, and you can really change your life if you change your mindset. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm so happy to take you on this journey with me. And Of course, there's going to be some haters along the way. Of course, there's going to be some naysayers. Of course, there's going to be negativity. But throughout it all, the positivity is what kept me going and what keeps me going and what will keep me going. And at the end of the day, like, even if you're not good at what it is that you want to do, just keep going at it, because you will improve, you will get better. And honestly, you don't have to worry about other people. If they're not supporting you or giving you like valid critiques to help you improve, don't worry about them. They are what we would call bitter and jaded. And I was that for a while, but I'm no longer bitter or jaded, because I understand my worth, my value, and I understand that I can get anything I put my mind to. You think Kobe Bryant was born just like straight up to be as legendary as he became? No, he worked hard to get that. And honestly, that is the goal. I want all of you to think to yourself, I could be the Kobe Bryant of all my dreams, endeavors, and passions if I work hard. Don't give up. Don't listen to people who have negative input. If they're not giving you criticism to help you improve, then it's invalidated automatically. Like, that's what I want people to do next year. It's just, if it's not something that's going to help you improve and it's just straight up harsh criticism without anything backing it, it becomes invalid. The moment someone's like, you don't really sound good. Okay, well, it's invalid because you're not telling me what about it can be improved or what can change. Now, someone could literally say, yeah, I think you're a terrible singer, but if you work on this, this, and this, and this, that right there is valid criticism, because at the end of the day, they're telling you the things that are wrong with it and that you can change. If they're not going to give you constructive feedback, don't listen to them. Don't worry about them. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm excited to take you guys on this journey, and the next video I'm gonna work on will be either Thursday, because that's my day off, or I'm gonna try to like work on something either tonight or tomorrow, but we shall see, because I'm doing this shift for the next couple days. But yeah, I just want you to have a great day, night, week, and just know 2025 is going to be the year where you focus on yourself and get what you want. Don't listen to anyone negative, because it's not going to pay off. I am 28. Well, I'm turning 28 in a couple months, and I've learned that the hard way. Listening to people got me nothing, and it took away my joy, and I found my joy and my peace, and I'm keeping that. I'm not going to let anybody disturb or change that anymore. All right. See you later.